our channel, Loving Handcrafts by BMW. This is Brenda. So I am going to be making, surprise, another mini notebook. I am quite obsessed. Can't stop thinking about them. So I'm going to be bringing you another one. This series, well, basically it's a series now, right? Can you agree that I am doing a series? So I might as well fess up and was like, okay, well, I'm doing mini notebooks. I'm going to be making this, again, I'm using this paper pad as my inspiration. I've gone through, and as you could probably see, this paper pad has been well loved. I went ahead and selected a few of the pieces that I'm going to be using for the notebook. This is going to be my cover and my inside. So it's going to be my front cover and then the inside. This is going to be the back cover. Yeah, the back cover. And either this is going to be the back cover and this is going to be the inside. I haven't decided. So I'll leave that like that. I'm going to use this as one of my cut apart pages. So set that to the side. 1, 2, what are these? 3. What did I decide these things were going to be? These are going to be my... These are going to be my 3 dividers. So these are going to be all my dividers. So I'm using this geometrical pattern. And actually I'm going to use it in this order. And then these are going to be my tags. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and cut out my tags. So what I ended up doing is I ended up cutting tags already, white tags, because I want these to be pretty substantial. So I've cut out a lot of these already. But until I decide on what paper, I can't cut them out because I don't know what paper pad I'm going to use. So I'm going to do that next, and then I'll come back. And I'm going to use my Cricut to cut this out because I don't have this in a die. So that's the only thing I'm using my Cricut, is just to cut this out. And then I'll bring you back once that's cut out and we can start assembling. I will be showing you, we'll be taking my time on camera, how to cut it out manually, not using my Cricut, because I do it both ways. Just depends on how I feel. So I'm going to try to cut out everything and score everything. Very low key, very low tech, using just my memory keeper, all in one tool, and just cut it out that way. So I'll bring you back once I finish these, and yeah, I'll be right back. Okay, so I went ahead and cut all these out using my Cricut. I think I've had this discussion before about how these tags looks like they're, oh, for crying out loud, such a visual. Yep. So let's see. Looks like they're, yep, 3 3/4. So 3/4 and 2.5. Yep, perfect. I hang on to that. Any tag will do. You can, whatever you have in your, if you have a die or anything in your stash. So the idea being is, since this is kind of flimsy and people will be taking it in and out of their, I'm just going to glue them together like so. And this is some heavy cardstock that I keep in my stash. So I'll just go ahead and, as a matter of fact, let's just do that right now so I don't have to worry about it for later. You can do this in any order, and as I cut things out, I'll give you the dimensions. It's just whatever is your comfortable workflow. Since I'm thinking about it, I'm going to go ahead and do it, so don't forget to do it later. Not that I'm going to forget to do something this big, but it's just a lot easier to do a lot of this prep work up front while you got a chance. And then this will give this time to kind of dry. Although this barely art glue is really good Precision craft glue is really good. So this is my obsession. I am obsessed with making notebooks. I think I'm gonna switch it up though, since I'm gonna be making some more notebooks. I'm eyeballing like an even smaller notebook. I have some 3x5 index cards, so I'm going to be trying to turn that into like a really small minier than this, like a 3x5. This is what size is this notebook? Hold on, let me grab one because I don't remember. I think it's 3x4. So yeah. So 4. Yep. By 3. 3x4. So this would be even smaller than that. Oops. What did I do? Okay. Got it. Okay. So yeah. Oh, yeah. This is my notebook. Isn't it lovely? I love this one. This is me. This is mine. Chock full of everything. And I haven't used it yet. I just look at it. I take it out and look at it. I was like, I can't believe I made this with my hands. Something that beautiful with some paper. But I have another actual notebook that I use that's a little bit bigger. I'm using that first. Okay, so that little piece of work is done. These are all set and ready to go. I actually took the cut aparts. For these two, I have some rub-on sentiments that I can use in the center of these. So I got an idea for that, and then I'll use these two in some future notebooks because I might be able to squeeze one more out of the pad that I got, the paper pad. Okay, so this is the paper pad I'm using. So let's get the two front covers cut first. So like I said, this is my front cover, my inside cover, my back cover, the inside of the back cover, and then these are going to be my dividers. So I'm going to set those aside. So what I'm going to do now is cut these two together and then cut these two together. And they have different sizes. So let me bring over make some room, and then I'll bring over the little big old cutting tool, pepper cutter. Okay, so let's recap. Front and back cover, I'm going to cut those together so there'll be some symmetry. So I always consult my notes when I cut this out. This will be 4 inches by 5. So let me make sure I get stacked up together. So 4. Okay, 4 inches. Hang on to the scraps. By 5. Yep. Hang on to the scraps because you can use them again. Okay, that takes care of that. So put that away. So now for my insides, they're going to be 3 by 4. Hang on to those. 3 by 4. There we go. Okay, that's the inside cover. Okay, perfect. Keep the scrap. So now I'm ready for my dividers. So there's 3 dividers. So I'm going to hang on to those. Since these are 6 by 6, all I need to do is cut this by 4 to 4 inches. Okay. just stick that there. Just make sure right on that line. Yep. Okay. That takes care of that. I'm going to hang on to these. Okay. So that's my 4 dividers. Now, they do need to be scored at 3 inches. So let's do that. Do that one at a time. So basically I'm dividing these in half for my dividers. So it's this one. So now I'm going to hang on to that because there's one other thing I got to do, but let's go ahead and get these folded over. Really shouldn't have closed that. Now let's just scratch this a bit. Yeah, let's get that folded over. Okay. I like folding it up against the scoreboard. It does make for a cleaner, nicer fold. I don't have any wonky sides. I try to avoid those. So we'll do it like that. Now this is the time when you're decorating this to kind of think about what you want to do in your stash, whatever you have hanging around, anything that you have hanging around in your stash. This would be the perfect time to pull it out. Okay, so I'm going to make a little tick mark right here at the 1.5 mark, just a little score, because the reason I'm doing that is I'm going to use my circle punch and punch out a little tab, and it's a lot easier to see this if you do it like that. Just so you can kind of be consistent with your little punch outs. Now the thing to remember, is when you're doing this is I'm gonna glue the bottom, but when I go punch my hole with my cinch, then this is gonna close it. So I don't glue this side because I'm going to use the holes in the wire to keep this closed. And so the idea being is once I get everything sorted, then these will go in and make a little nice little pocket for that. That's the idea. Okay, I think, am I done cutting? No, I am not done cutting. So let's hang on to this. Let's put this up because I'm not done cutting. So now I've got to decide through my scraps for my dividers. I need to make a band, pocket, a side pocket, a belly band. And then I got to cut out three tabs. So before I start that, let's get this little road work done. I'll have that done. Can I punch? I don't think I can get all three of them in there? I've never tried to punch all three at the same time. Can I even do that? So here's me trying to do all three. That way I can have them all be the same. Never tried it, so we're going to try it right now on camera. It'd be an epic fail. So I don't know if you can see in there that there's that little score mark that helps me line that up. That little mark I can see in this little hole. And then I'm just bringing this circle punch, and I'm just going to have like a half moon thing. No, it's not going to let me do all three. Okay. Didn't think so. So we'll just do it one at a time. So usually I take this out. I don't want to. There we go. can see it now. There you go. This one, get them all at the same rate, then usually I can get them lined up pretty good. But you know, they don't have to be exact. I usually do pretty good. Getting them pretty close. Not too bad. So that's done. I'll worry about sticking this together later. I tried doing it like just one, opening it up and doing one side. I didn't like it. I didn't like the look. I really didn't. So I don't do that anymore. I did it on one and I didn't care for it. One notebook wasn't my favorite look. Alright, so that's done with those. So that work is done. So this will end up being, if I'm not mistaken, 3x4. So this is 3x4. This is what these end up being. Beautiful. Put that there. I have a ton of scraps that I'm going to be using. So what I'm going to do is, let me see. I've already had some. Okay, so I already have that. So that could be my belly band for that one. That's a little too much. But yeah, I want this to be the belly band. So I'm going to actually, and I like that contrast with the flower and the pattern. So let me get my scissors. Just trim this. Okay, so that's going to be one. Now, this is where you decide what you want to do. Brenda likes to do both sides. You can do one of your dividers. I like to put stuff on both sides. But you do you. And so I'm just going through my stash. Let me make sure. Okay. This is why I picked. And then I got to look at these. This could be something. Willie called, so I had to stop. I apologize. Let's see. This could be a pocket, or like, I really like this one. This could be a side pocket. Let's see. If this is going to be a side pocket, then it has to be 2x3. Let's see if I got enough. Yep. So that's 2 inches. So then I can cut it by 3. I really like this one. Okay, hang on to that. Then I'm just going to kind of put it in here like so. Yep, there we go. And then there we go. Okay, so what I would do is, this is the, so I would want to have this go here. And then I like to do a belly band here, like so. Okay, that'll be one. Put that over to the side. Okay, then I'm going to do, I think I'm going to turn this into a band. So hang on to that, because I'm going to end up using that one or something. So for this one, if I'm going to do like a side band pocket, so this has to be 1 inch. I think that's really, oh my god. Okay, let's see if I can tidy this up, because obviously I didn't know what I was doing when I was cutting it. I don't know. Look, it's all flared out. I don't know. Probably just did it. Okay, all crazy like. Hang on to that, and then I'll cut this by 4. I don't know what I was doing. That's why I use the Cricut half the time. So basically, it's still flared out. Look at that. I don't know how to fix it. I'm just going to go with it. Just going to go with it. it's going to go right on this side like that. So on this side, I'll go ahead and use one of these. Okay, that's pretty good. What's my next one? Where did you go? Okay, I think I got something lost in the sauce, because these are all of my, something got lost in the sauce. What got lost in the sauce? 1, 2, oh, here we go. Lost in the sauce. There we go. So this one, what can I do with that? Okay, so continue. I'm really liking that one, so let me repeat the belly band again. That'll be, so this is 1 inch by 3, so the belly band is 1. Let's make sure it's 1. Okay, that's not gonna really cut. I'm gonna try. Let's get into the center. I'm gonna try to get it. Yep. Oh, doggone, it moved. Darn it. It moved, but we'll just do it like that. So belly band here. I'm gonna move it down a little, and then I think I'm gonna do. I think I'm gonna do a side band, and this one is 1 inch by 4. There we go. Okay. Save all my scraps. Before I move on, I'm gonna leave that there. Now I'm gonna take a look at my tabs. So what can I use as a tab? I'm gonna use this one for sure, because that would go good with that one. So let me fold that over. I'm going to bring in another punch. Got this from Amazon. And I'm going to punch out a tab set. Yep. Like a foul tab. Okay, so that's got me 1. I need 3 of these. I don't know what I did, but okay. So that probably goes with this one. I'm going to keep all those together. Okay, so then I got this one. And let's turn this around, make sure. I try to keep them going in the same direction. So what would go with that one? So that's a dark color. Okay, maybe this purple. Do that. You guys get to see all the inner workings, all of this. This is all the stuff that I try to do off camera. That takes care of that. Hang on to that. And I need to figure out what to do with this one. So for this one, it's purple. Maybe this one, if I can make it work. It's a little shorter than I like, but we'll see if it make it work. Yep, it's gonna make it. It's gonna work. It's gotta work. Boom. There we go. And then that's that one. Okay. So let me just lock that back in place and put that away. Okay, so I think I'm done with everything now. I'm gonna clean this up. These are all of my scraps. And that's why I was saying I'm going to be able to make this a scrap busting project, and do like a really mini, like a mini one with these scraps. So I'm going to stick them back in here. And then I have more like that. I'm going to just stick this all together and kind of keep it together. It's a hot mess, but I've used most of this paper pad, and that was the goal. All right, let me now carefully, because I got everything sorted, move all my little pieces off this. I'm going to keep them together, and I'll take this a little bit out the way. Now we can commence to gluing. And then cinching, and then cutting, and then I got a couple other things to do, and then we'll be good. So I'm going to do this first, because one time I made these, I forgot to glue everything before I cinched it, and I wasn't happy. So I tend to try to do all of this first, like get all of this prep work done first, and then I don't want to forget a step. Okay, so I'm going to close this up like so, and making sure I just do that, a little bead of glue at the bottom. While I've got everything out, I'm going to glue this band on. Now at this point it doesn't really matter which one gets where, if it gets all mixed up, but you've got your bigger decisions made. And now this is where you can take whoever your recipient is, like whatever they like, or you can do stickers at this point that you can slip in. You can, you know, do inspirational quotes, whatever you would like to slip into these pockets, that would work. I thought I bought a new blade for I've been wearing that sucker out, but I can't find it. I hate when I hide stuff from myself. All right, so let's say I want to put something, I want to kind of get it, I'll use this line, like right there. Okay. So what happens is, for the belly band, you just glue the two sides. You don't glue anything else. You can slip something in. Make sure, go down here, and you can decide where you want it. There's no right or wrong for this. This is your notebook, your creation, so you do it how you want to do it. Can't believe I got that in there. Sweep that out the way. Now for the side pocket, we'll glue the corners. It's like a little triangle. Just glue these. Doop, doop, doop. So what happens is, making sure, whoops, okay, I was supposed to close that first, but I'll do this here. I've already got it going. Forgot to do my thing. All right, I forgot to take this, skin this. Just a little bit of glue. Now you can decide if you want to use tape runner, if you want to use liquid glue. I like using liquid adhesive, but you decide what you would like. And then I think this is my side band here. Like I said, it doesn't really matter. So this gets glued on 3 sides. Up there. And up there. Just make sure I got a little bit of glue. I don't think I got enough. Oh, okay. I don't have enough on that. I'm just working, like I'm not filming, so I apologize if some stuff wasn't on there. I'll look and see. I'll try to get everything in the frame. Okay, so once I get them glued down, I try to keep them in the order so I can make sure that I don't. Now, I've never thought about rounding these corners, but I guess if you wanted a more rounded corner look, you could do that. I've never done that. I kind of like the square look, but you could round these corners. Oops, I did both sides. What? There we go. Little pocket there. Little side favorite. Again, you can decide that that's too much and you don't want to do both sides. But I like to do both sides. That gives me options. That gives the person, the recipient, options. They want to keep a memento or a keepsake. This is not really directional, but it kind of feels directional to me. This feels like the right way. So that's the way I'm going. Okay. Yep. I'm planning my next little one. Don't know what it's going to be. Okay. So that's that one. It goes like this, and like this. I want to do the colors. Okay, yeah. Okay, that's it. So see, like that's more purple. So I'll do it like that. Okay. Now I have these. So I'm going to go ahead and put these on too. The 3 tabs. So what I end up doing, this is me. I tried the template, like I said last week, and it didn't work for me. Do I have a pencil? I don't have a pencil. I have a pen. Where's my pencil? Okay. Must be somewhere else. Okay. Let's see. So that's purple. Okay, that's going to go here. That's going to go in the middle, and that's going to go at the bottom. Okay, that's how it's going to go. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and what I'm going to do is kind of make sure it looks good. Get it all tidied up on my thing. I'm going to glue it down just like that. Okay. I'm going to turn it over. Oh, okay, yeah, that's right. Okay, just want to make sure I don't want to screw up anything at the last minute. Okay, so that's that one. Then I'm going to take the last one, again, double checking, making sure I got my open side this way to the left. And then I'm going to lay that down and get that sorted. And this is what I found worked for me and how my brain works. This is through trial and error, just me making multiple books and trying to figure out what works. So I can kind of sort of get it all lined up. And then this is what I found works for me. Okay, so now I got my bottom. So I got my first and my third, and then the middle one is the one that gives me the most trouble with alignment. So that's why I went ahead and did these two, and then I can kind of sort of visually see where this is going to go in between these two and kind of line it up. Usually it works a little better. Go where I think it should go. Get that started. Then I can slide it around. And I keep meaning to get my little paper clip, but you see that's, can't find one. I have one. You see how that goes. See how much that goes. So what I'm doing is just making sure, and I was pretty spot on, trying to get it like evenly spaced in between here and here. It doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to look aesthetically pleasing. So what I'm gonna do is, that looks about right. I'm going to get it all sorted. and just go ahead and glue it down. And like I said, once I figured out this little hack, for me, it works out just fine. That one is a little crooked. Move that up a little. Now they're all done. That's done. Doesn't look too bad. Doesn't look bad at all with the spacing. Okay. So now my dividers are done. Now I can work on my covers. So I've already used my Cricut to cut out a whole bunch of chipboard. So the chipboard is, let me tell you, I can tell you what it is because I have the measurements here. 3.125 by 4.224. That's the measurements I use in Cricut. Come on. The chipboard is 3 1/8 by 4 1/8. That's what you're cutting the chipboard out. So again, me being me, I just use my Cricut to cut out stuff like this. And then I do a whole bunch at a time and just hang them, put it back. So now I got my chipboard for my front and my back cover. So let's do okay. I screwed this up. I screwed it up. Look. I didn't orient it right, but you know what? I'm going to use it. It's okay. It's just this front one. I'm going to use it. I'm still going to use it. My flower is going to be weird, but I'm going to use it. Oh, Snapdragon. I screwed that up. I did. I didn't think about the direction, but oh well. It'll be all right. It's just going to be on the side. If I wanted it this way, so I wanted this, I cut it the wrong way. I knew it was too easy, but I'm going to use it. I might end up using this one. Can I use this one? Is it going to matter? Okay, this one doesn't matter. For the back cover, it doesn't matter. I'm going to recut the front. Because the flowers could go either direction. Okay. Alright. Let's see. This one is going to go, it doesn't matter on that. Okay. Okay, so let's do the back cover. I screwed that up. Oh, and that was my favorite paper. I didn't think about it. I just cut it. It's my fault for not paying attention. I'll show you how to do this one because I'm not going to be... I might go ahead and use it because, you know, these things happen, and then this will not, that will just be for me. It won't go for it won't go to anybody. I'll just use it myself. So the idea being is trying to get this as centered as possible, as even as you can, and I can tell this is not even because it's going to be my luck. I'm off my game today. Okay. It looks crooked to me, but I think it'll be okay. I usually have my brayer out. Oh, here's my brayer. And I can smooth that glue out. Okay. Then I have my tool, my book tool to miter my corners, and a finger blade. So I'm going to do all 4 corners. Oh, I cannot believe I did that. Oh my gosh. How can I be such a nincompoop? Oh well. I'm still going to use it. I'm resigned. That's what happens when you craft sometimes. So I'm not hiding it. You saw it for yourself. No one stopped me. I didn't stop myself. I was just talking and cutting. I was so happy to show you I could cut on the thingy bob. But oh well. Alright, let me just glue that down. Sometimes you get lemonade and happy accidents happen. So I got lemons. I'm going to make lemonade. So happy accidents. Happy accidents. Before I do anything foolish, safety first. Put that back. I'm just going to glue this down. Again, you can use a tape runner. I like it. That's why I like my brayer too, because that brayer really takes that glue and pushes it around. You don't need a... So we'll use that. I usually can eyeball it. It doesn't have to be picture perfect. It just has to be in there, kind of centered somewhat. Cannot believe I did that. I didn't think about the direction when I did it. So when I cut it, actually that's going to be pretty. It's going to be a different orientation, but it's going to be pretty. It's still going to make it work. There's my phone. I forgot to cut my do not disturb on my phone. So we're cooking here. It's coming along pretty fast. Once you make a few of these, it goes pretty fast. Once you get all this prep work done, all this cutting and scoring and doing that, it goes pretty fast. You do not have to have this book, this guide here. I just like to be consistent. In my brain, it works better for me. All right. So now we're going to take this and cover it over. Oh, it's going to be perfect. It's going to be fine. It's going to be fine. That's why I said sometimes you just got to go with it. Happy accidents. It's just a different orientation. It's going to work. It's going to work. Let me do this side here. I'm not going to complain. So, yeah, if it was really, truly a directional, you really want to pay attention to that, and I did not, and I just screwed it up. That's just me. Okay, let's take that out of here. So what I'm going to do is, now that I've folded everything and creased everything, I'm going to start on the two long edges. I got to come up with a card. I haven't made a card in a while, so I got to make a card. I think that's next on my list. I gotta do some birthday cards. I'm gonna go here. Scrunch, 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 scrunch. Get that going. So I always start with the two long sides and then the two short sides. And then I'm consistently consistent. If it wants to be stubborn, and you can use your brayer, which is what I end up using. And that does get adhered pretty nice. Scrunch, 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 scrunch. And then fold that back over. Oh, it's going to be pretty. It's still pretty. I love that paper. That's like my favorite paper in the whole paper pack. Always one side that doesn't want to cooperate. So there you go. And then I'll go ahead and do the next one. Same scenario. Along this edge. Scratch. Like I like to do like a sawtooth pattern. Come back over. Let it catch. And this glue is amazing. As you can see, it goes back. It gets, once you do all of that, it comes together really, really fast. You'll be amazed. And a lot of the stuff, like if I'm not filming, and you know, because I usually just make some, I'm making them off camera as well. Um, it goes really, really fast. And then by me using my Cricut to do some of the prep work, because I know I'm making a lot in the series, Christmas gifts, that's all I can say, Christmas gifts, then it comes up, it goes really fast. But you guys are seeing it from beginning to end like that. Okay, so now that goes there. Put you over here. I usually cut out, like that's directional too, but I'm not gonna really, it's still pretty, so I'm not gonna really worry about it. So I'm gonna put it on here. Yeah, I'll do it that way. I just switched it up. Oh god, I forgot what I was gonna say. Oh yeah, if I'm not filming, then I'll go ahead and do a lot of the get everything done, and it usually goes pretty fast. Also, prep work, which I'll come in and show you in a minute because I'm ready to do that, is I have a stack cutter. So I went ahead and cut up a bunch of my index cards. So the index cards that I used was 4x6, and then I cut them at at 3 inches. So I basically divided them in half, and I did a whole stack of those. So again, that's like something I do just like on a Friday night. I know I'm going to be making notebooks, so I just go ahead and just do that. That's where I looked at it and I was like, I got a lot of scraps left, so I can go ahead, and that's going to be the, although it's supposed to look like that, I'm going to do it this way. It's my book. This cover is wrong. Could just be me. I don't know. I'm just going to roll with it, y'all. What do I know? I'm just going to roll with it. So if the edges look too sharp, I just go ahead and use my bone folder. Just kind of soften those edges around the corners like this. Just crisp up those lines, especially this could be poking out a little. So there you go. All right, then this goes together like this. I'm going to go that way. Oh, yeah, this way. And then that way. That's what that looks like. Then I have, here is my pre-cut index cards. This doesn't have 10, so it would be, there's 10 per section, so I'll have 40 sheets. So I went ahead and just counted that out. Divider, stacks. Divider, and then that. Okay. Now normally for this, I like to have like a pretty page. I'm going to use this as my pocket, my front pocket. Now you can decide if you want to cut that out. I'm going to leave this last. I'm going to do a little punch here. I like this for my front pocket. I'm going to have an inspirational quote there. And then I'm going to use the same thing on the back side. Maybe this one will be better. Yeah, I think I like that one. That'll be better. For the front, because this is more on a dark theme in the back. So I'm going to put those there. And then I'll have 2 inspirational Bible quotes for this. But I'll put those, and I'm going to round these corners too. And soften these. That's around the corner, and I'm going to round that one. So I'm going to move that out the way. And then now I'm ready to cinch this bad boy. I'm going to go pick out my wire. I'll be back. That's what it's going to look like when I put it all together, even though the flowers are great. I'm going to actually go ahead and look through my stash while I'm thinking about it, because I like to have a decorative cover in the front. Let's see. I was hoping I had one. I don't like that. It's too dark. Do I have? No, that's not big enough. So I'm going to go through my stash. Okay, here we go. Here's one. I'm going to use this one. Have just enough to cut this by 3 by 4. So I'm going to use that and cover this up. So I'll be back while I go reset and bring you back for the... I'm not going to do everything. I'm going to do one on camera, and then I'm going to do show you how that's done, and then I'm going to do the rest off because it jerks the camera so much. So I'll be right back while I go grab that. Okay, so while I was off camera, I went ahead and punched most of the book. I've selected my binding wire. So we will show you how to do this. So this is 4. So I have the multi-cinch. So basically it has a cartridge. This does square. It can do round. It does square holes. It can do round holes. You can do spiral notebooks if you have the cartridge. You can do a band, a copy. I don't know. It does like multiple holes. I'll have to do another journal with the round holes. I like the square holes, but since I got it, I should use it. So basically there are some measurements in here. So there's a 4 here. There's a 4 here. So I'm going to slide my paper in between the 2 markers that are 4 inches. For the cover, I have to slide my cover, since it's slightly bigger than the pages. I have to put, and I already did this, but I would put it at 4 1/4 and a 4 1/4 in between these 2. So that's how I do it. This thing does come with this little, whatever this is, this like guide that you can use depending on your papers, your inserts, but for this I don't need to use it because again it has that 4 and 4 on either side, left and right, so it makes it easier to square this up. So I'm going to punch this once because it makes a lot of noise and it shakes the camera. So I just push everything in straight towards the back, and I'm going to make sure that I'm in between the 4 and the 4 here. And then I'm just making sure, hopefully it doesn't shift on me, but I am really pushing back and then push down. And then there you go. Okay. And then I got 6 holes, 6 little punch outs. Okay. So here's my little decorative piece. This is my cover. And then this is the back cover. So everything is done and punched and looks nice, right? Put this to the side. Now, you can cinch this at the back. I do not like how these cinch. Do not like it. For this one. So I'm going to go off camera real quick and cinch it and bind it. But with the bigger, I have the bigger one too. So I need 6 of these because I punched 6 holes. So I will count out on these prongs 6. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, that's 6. Keep my hand there. I have some jewelry pliers, some jewelry cutters that I'm going to use, and these are quite dull, but they still work. Okay, and I'm going to hang on to that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I can use it for a 5. A notebook would have 5 holes, and can do it for that one or something that maybe has 3 holes. For my little mini one that I'm going to be making. I don't know why this always gets smushed. I always smush that end. Oh, this side gets smushed. I don't know why. Maybe it's just me. It's just how I do it. Okay. All right. So that takes care of that. We're almost done. I will be right back when I get this hung. I'll show you what the idea is, at least this part. So put that on here on the side like so. I'm going to take these off because they'll go in last. Now you can bind and cinch and do all that good stuff. This is just how I do it. You can, you know, there's a method to the madness. As you, if I had cut the wire first, I could have punched the holes and then strung them on the wire, but I didn't do that. I never do that. I never do that. I don't know why. I just never do. So I'm just stringing it on here. Just putting it on there. Then I got a divider. Then I got that like that. Okay. Last time I did this, I had a big debate on what goes first. So I already figured it out. This goes on top. This is my front. This is my back. And then when we cinch it, this will flip over. So that's what that looks like. And I'm sure there's operator error why I get this one all screwed up. But that's the thing. I'm going to hold it in like that. And then I'll be right back once it's done. One more minute. So I am done cinching this. I love how the big cinch, that's what I call it, cinches this up. I don't have any gaps. This one leaves gaps and you have to keep, doesn't seem to have enough pressure. I don't know what the heck is. I can never get my wire to close like this on the little one. So here you go. Oh no, that wasn't in there. Oh no. Okay, I'm not gonna, whew, I did not check that. Don't know how that not got in there. Oh no, I'm short some pages, but that's what happens. Slate, look, I'll use it for something else. I still love it. Like I said, it might just be for me because I'm short some pages. Oh no, I don't want anybody to have their short pages. Maybe I'll give it to my mom. She won't care. She'll like, I still love it. Okay, so now, just so you know, I have some butterflies that I can decorate it with. This is my dies that I used. So I've got a bag full of these that I can put on here to decorate the front. I'm not sure if I want to use silver. I think I can use all three. No, two. Can I do that? Might be able to get all three on here. Or maybe just two. Maybe just the two. And yeah, maybe I'll use the gold. There we go. Have one go that way, one go this way. Perfect. That's how I'm going to decorate it. All right, so if you've made it this far, I appreciate your support. So like, subscribe, or comment. Let me know if you're okay with my happy accidents. My inspirations just go with the flow. I still have to do some final things. I forgot to add these to the final product. I'll just drop these in after the fact. But these go in here too. So yeah, I love making these. I'm obsessed. I will stop. If I don't have anything creative going on, I will stop and make a notebook because it's never ending. I can use a lot of stuff in my stash. So again, like, subscribe, comment. I'll see you guys next time, and take care.